It's called the Mother Road, more than 2,400 miles of pavement linking the Windy City to the Gold Coast of America. And while today Route 66 is primarily a corridor for the adventurous and nostalgic, its birth was based in practicality.
It all started in 1916 with the Federal Aid Roads Act that was introduced in order to take a series of cobbled together trails and make them all into one national highway that would run almost all the way across the country from the area around Los Angeles up to Chicago.
The highway entered the state near Glen Rio, then traveled west past Santa Rosa, where it shot north toward Las Vegas. From there, it headed through Santa Fe, then traveled back down toward Albuquerque and Los Lunas, a trek that gave New Mexico the largest stretch of the road in the United States.
And here was all this land just ripe for development in Albuquerque.
As Nob Hill historian Gary Eister says, the route was streamlined in the late 1930s to cut straight through Albuquerque, bringing with it an explosion of development.
And after that, it was possible to get through New Mexico less than 500 miles. It was actually 399 miles.
The highway's path through Albuquerque brought dozens of businesses to the city. In 1937, Daniel Murphy left his post as manager of the Hotel Franciscan to open the El Vado Motel, located west of the Franciscan on what would become Central Avenue. It was one of many enterprises ready to give travelers their kicks along the 66.
A lot of the original parts of the Mother Road that ran north and south became secondary arteries. For example, 4th Street and Isleta Boulevard continued to flourish to a certain extent because those roads were still heavily traveled.
Shops like Kurt's Camera Corral, theaters like the Chemo, and cinemas like the Lobo Theater found huge success along the Mother Road. And many of those travelers found new careers as America entered the nuclear age.
Because a lot of people traveling down Route 66 were traveling west to find new careers, new jobs, and taking them to a different life, where oftentimes, especially coming through New Mexico, it took them into a nuclear field, whether it was Sandia National Labs or something else.
Albuquerque is a very special place along the route. There's no other place along Route 66 that's like us.
Unfortunately, progress sometimes comes with casualties. The National Interstate Highway System was introduced in 1957, chiming the death knell for the storied 66.
Dwight Eisenhower had seen the Autobahns in Germany, and he had used the Autobahns in Germany with his troops. And when he became president, he introduced the idea that we should have an Autobahn system here in the United States.
Interstates shifted traffic from arteries like Route 66 to 4-lane freeways. Over the next 2 decades, businesses suffered a slow demise. By 1970, the Hotel Franciscan had closed its doors, and 2 years later, it was demolished, replaced with an open parking space on 6th and Central. The Chemo Theater, once the grandest of theaters in the Southwest, fell into disrepair, and the once popular El Vado Motel suffered a similar fate, ultimately closing in 2005.
I think people are very sentimental about Route 66 in Albuquerque. We have good reason to. We are actually the longest urban stretch of the highway in the entire country, even if you consider Los Angeles.
People really still try to make the Route 66 area as vibrant as possible.
Developers and residents insistent on preserving mid-century American history are busy bringing new life to the 66. The Carlisle will open its doors in December of 2016, complete with living spaces, gardens, and a rooftop patio. Kurt's Camera Corral will also be repurposed to feature all new shops and alfresco dining. And the El Vado? It too will celebrate a rebirth, with plans calling for a boutique motel, amphitheater, and food court.
We are very different from other Sunbelt cities, and one of those reasons is because we have great resources like UNM, like Route 66, the state fairgrounds, these really important businesses and tourist commodities along Route 66 that nobody else has. I think it's a drama and excitement that's not going to go away anytime soon.
The rhythm of the road, the romance of the journey. It's what makes New Mexico's part of Route 66 truly legendary.